Hey, hi, awesome volunteers. Thank you so much for helping with the Register Collin project. With your help, we're going to reach 60,000 new Democratic voters registered in Collin County by the first week of October, which is just amazing. So thank you. Here's what we're going to do. Here's the step-by-step process. Once you meet your captains and you've got your materials and you've gone through training, this is kind of a synopsis of what we're going to be doing, and this training is going to be available to you anytime you want a refresher. There's a QR code on your clipboard sheet. So we are going to be using Map the Vote to find your address. Once we get that address, we're going to go knock on the door. And when they enter the door, we're going to get all the voters, unregistered voters in that house registered. We're going to do a quick survey. We're going to update Map the Vote, and then we're going to do it all again. So here we go. This sheet is going to be on your clipboard. To get to Map the Vote, you can either type in the URL mapthe.vote into the browser application on your phone, or you can scan this QR code with your take a picture of it with your camera, and then it'll bring up a little square, and you can touch that square and it'll open up Map the Vote in your browser. And we do the same thing with the survey and the training video here. We're just using the QR codes as a shortcut to all of these awesome apps that you have available. So Map the Vote, you've scanned the QR code, you're bringing it up in your browser. The very first time you go in, you'll need to sign up for a Map the Vote account and fill out this form on your phone. Once you do that, every time you go in, you'll just need either your email and your password, or you can log in with Google. It's up to you. So let me switch over to Map the Vote and show you the app. And all of the things that we're going to be doing with this app. So when you go in, we will need you to enable geolocation on your phone. And what that'll do is it'll show you in Map the Vote, this little blinky blue dot. That's where you're standing. And all of the green dots in this map, and you can zoom in and out. You can see we have a whole bunch of pins to clear, but what those pins are likely Democratic voters that need to be registered to vote. So what we're going to do is we're going to block walk to all of those houses, knock on the doors, and offer to register them to vote. So to get the address, you just click on the little pin and it'll tell you they haven't been contacted. This is the address. And that's the door we're going to go knock. Let me switch back to here. And so that was step one. Find your address. Step two is knock on the door and wait. So when you knock on the door, ring the doorbell, we're going to ask you to wait between 30 seconds to a minute for the people who are there to come and answer the door. If you've rung the doorbell, you've waited your minute and nobody is there, we will have not home packets for you in your volunteer pack. And the not home packet is going to be two of the white mail-in two of the mail-in voter registration forms, a sheet with, I'm calling it the not home sheet. What it is instructions of how, who we are, why we're here, and how they can check their voter registration and register to vote. We'll also have a welcome card from the Collin County Democratic Party saying, welcome to the county and welcome to the party, and here's how to get a hold of us, to learn more about us, and to get more involved. If any of the local clubs has provided us with a welcome card from their local club, we're going to distribute those as well. And then when in Map the Vote, we're going to mark this address, come back later with the relevant reason. And let me show you how to do that. You say, tap the questionnaire, come back later, nobody home. And when you click submit, it's going to turn that pin gray. And then other block walkers will know that somebody tried that one, nobody was home. Okay, so if somebody is home and they're not eligible to vote, then we can go into map the vote and mark that address, come back later ineligible. Or if they are Republican, we want to mark never come back and the reason why. So let me show you how to do that. Instead of marking them come back later, we're going to say, oh, come back later. We can say ineligible to vote. And we can come back later and ask them if they're eligible later. Otherwise, if they are Republican and they weren't very friendly, we don't want to send anyone else to that address. So we can say requested, do not contact. We can say other reason, and we can just write in Republican. Either one is fine. When you write never come back, it takes that off the list. So I don't want to do that because I want to register this person. So let's say they did answer the door. They need to be registered to vote and they're not registered yet. Now it's time to get to work. Moving on to step 3, the green form. Let's get them registered to vote. And if you're here, you are a VDR, you're very familiar with this sheet. I'm just going to hit some quick highlights. Please be sure you fill out the citizenship checkbox and the age 18 or over checkbox. Now, there is an exception to over 18. If this person is 17 years and 10 months old, yes, please register them right away. Also, be sure that your voter signs and dates this form and that the writing is legible, that we can see what they wrote. As your voter is doing this, I'm going to ask you to conduct a survey. We want to collect some data about this new voter so we can reach them again. And when it's time to vote, we can call them up or send them a text message or send them an email to say, hey, it's time to vote. You know that voter registration that you filled out and it's shiny and new? Let's go use it. So, and also this is the backside of your clipboard sheet. You'll have your full script back here when you're talking to your voter. So you say hi, you introduce yourself, you go through the process. So the survey, we got a QR code here to bring up this survey. And it brings you over here. Let me go to my live version so I can walk you step by step through this. This survey is one of the ways that we track how many people you've registered to vote individually by you. So registrar name and or DVR number. I am DVR number 21 and my name, my email, and the registrar affiliation is Register Collin. This is optional. You can skip it if you want. Voter precinct. If you know which precinct you're in, please fill this in. I'm currently in precinct 101. The voter name, I'm going to register Jane Doe. And date of birth, Jane was born on 01/01/2000. I'm registering in Collin County. And you can see the starred ones are required. Down here, the mailing address is different from your voting address. If you say yes, it'll bring up another screen so you can fill out the mailing address. If they're exactly the same, just say no and click next, and that'll take you to the next set of questions. Now, these questions are optional. If your voter shows any hesitation or pushback, you don't have to ask them. Still submit the survey, but if they will answer these questions, it'll help us so much in getting out the vote and flipping Collin blue in 2022. So the voter phone number. Enter it, please, with no dots or dashes. Their email, that's the next one. And the voting by mail. If they're interested in voting by mail, please check yes, and we will follow up and make sure that this voter can vote by mail. If they're not eligible, just click no. This next question, cross-committee Dem support, can we count on you to support Democrats up and down the ballot in the 2022 election? This is another chance for us to verify that this is a Democrat that we're talking to. So choose whichever seems the most appropriate for the person you're talking to. My Jane Doe is a strong Democrat, can't wait to vote for Democrats all the way down the ballot. The next question is the issues that get this person out to vote. So what issues are most important to you as a voter this year? Some of these have a second, a few more details about this question. Some of them are just, you check the box and you're done. So I'm going to check that healthcare is my most important issue. And I want to stop gun violence, or Jane Doe wants to stop gun violence. And then we're done with the questionnaire. If there's anything that you want to correct, you can go back and you can correct it. Otherwise, click submit and you're ready for your next voter. So that is the survey. Your person's registered. You gave them the welcome card. Be sure and give them their little receipt from the bottom of the green card and let them know that their voter registration is going to arrive in about 2 or 3 weeks. Also on the welcome card is a way for them to check their voter registration status and thank them for their time. This was awesome. It's such a positive experience for both you and the voter. And then we go over to map the vote and mark this address as everyone registered, which turns the pin blue. Let me go through that. Just say here, everyone registered, and you can see the pin is blue. We want to see a whole bunch of blue pins at the end of the weekend. Also, we have this awesome volunteer promotion award called the Full Beto. And this is quite a challenge, but can you complete the full Beto? In 2018, Beto O'Rourke visited all 254 counties in Texas. He did the full Beto. He blazed the trail. So the Collin Full Beto is a volunteer award for those super ambitious volunteers who register one new voter in all 239 precincts in Collin County. We're lucky Collin County is a little smaller than Texas, and we don't have quite as many places to visit as Beto. And actually, we're going to give you the first 6 precincts as freebies because there's actually 0 population in 6 precincts in Collin County. So there's 233. We will have a leaderboard keeping track of how many precincts each VDR has registered voters in. So be sure you fill out your surveys. That's how we track it. If for whatever reason you don't have a precinct, we will look it up and we'll fill it in based on the address. So again, thank you so much. This video is going to be available if you scan the code, the QR code on your clipboard sheet, and we'll make it available any other time as well. Thank you. Let's get these people registered. See how many people how many volunteers can do the full Beto. I'm so excited, and let's knock some doors.